Welcome to Smack Talk. As always, there's going to be a link down below in the description box to credit WWE. You know the drill by now, but then again, you could be brand new to the channel, so welcome if you are. I do this because for me it's fun. I'm not saying it's fun for you, but there's a few select people that seem to enjoy these videos. So this was a pretty decent show. I was entertained. Okay. We started off with Kevin Owens that started up facing Dirty Dom. They went back and forth. This is for the qualifier match for Elimination Chamber that's happening in Perth, Australia. Is it in Perth? I think so. Helps if I have all my facts straight. Truth came out yelling at KO a little bit, not like angrily, but he was yelling something at him. And then also Dom as well. Dom tells... Oh, this part was so funny because I almost forgot until I watched my notes, but I'm trying to make eye contact when I'm talking into the camera. Dirty Dom told Truth, get a chair. You know, Truth is thinking like, I'm good standing. Goes, gets the chair, folds it out, sits on it. Which I can't say I'm surprised because that's typical R-Truth, right? And basically, Kevin Owens won. Truth celebrated with KO in the ring. You can see it right here. You can watch that snippet if you don't have cable. WWE always lets you see the highlights, and I simply ramble on about them and talk about them a little bit here and there. That's an interesting... Okay, we'll get into that in a moment. Backstage, Drew says that he has to win for the people. But then LA Knight jumped in, shared his piece, and it was actually really good. That was a nice little promo back there. Calls him an old-timer. And then Drew also posted on Twitter saying old-timer because LA Knight is actually older than Drew McIntyre by about 3 years. But it was old-timer in the traditional sense of how long he's been around for compared to LA Knight. He didn't mean it from an age perspective, so I guess that went over Drew's head. Yeah, basically, it was just a quick little moment. It got broken up by the refs. They did not attack each other. It's like, no, we're just chatting here, right? It was cool. Parking lot, we see Roman Reigns hugging Jimmy. Normally, most of us are thinking that can't be good when something like that happens. And then Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate chat about things going well, getting titles from the Judgment Day, and that's where Dirty Dom comes in and says, you can't beat us. And I think next week, no, not DIY. Oh my goodness, whatever their name is. Oh, I think he even came up with a name, but I don't remember what it is. I forgot to mark it down. Whatever it is, I think they're facing Judgment Day next week, or they're facing Dom and R-Truth or something like that. And then Dom is like, he's not even with us. I kind of forgot fully what happened there. Zelina Vega and LWO come out with Carlito. I really love Carlito and LWO. She faced Tiffy. I don't know why I wrote Tiffina. Stratton, great match. Tiffy, it was Tiffy time. She won. This was good. This was good because I used to not dunk. That's not the right word. I used to be very critical of Zelina Vega. Like I said, a lot of these showgirls that come out, not all of them are able to kind of wrestle, and sometimes they look awkward and stuff like that. Whereas you don't have that with the guys. You don't have pretty boys just walking around doing nothing. They're always in the ring, right? Generally speaking. Yeah, they generally are. Paul Heyman, not exactly a pretty boy. Anyhow, this was solid. This was actually good in-ring chemistry. I don't know if they've wrestled before, but that was like picture perfect at the end there. They literally, when it said the best, the perfect, moonsault, she jumps up on the first rope, the second rope, the third rope, just a backflip, and landed perfectly executed. The knees right in the gut of Zelina Vega. You could tell I actually watched the match, and it was good. I enjoyed that, and that was good. This broke my heart. Well, not this part. We'll get to that in a minute. They don't show these things in a highlight recap. This is why I talk about them, but they sometimes have them up there. AJ Styles backstage clashed with the OC and Mishin. Haven't texted, blah, blah, blah. I always forget his name. Luke Gallows. That's his name. Luke Gallows. Big dude. Carl Anderson. Smaller dude. Carl Anderson's like, why do you even care about this guy? Looks like he forgot where he came from. And AJ got up. What? Shoved him. Had it been anybody else, Carl says he would have dropped him. I don't know. Then he just basically walked out. I really don't understand what is going on from like a scripting perspective, from a creative perspective. Obviously, I understand they're doing what they're told to do. I just mean like the whole thing. I'm not buying it, honestly. If I had Mishin one give me a hug, and everybody seemed concerned about, nobody gives a shit about me. If I'd have those three people constantly wanting to know what's up with me, showing that they care even though I'm being a jackass to them, I'd be like, where can I find these people? Okay, where can I get a Mishin hug? Just saying. Damage Control vignette promo in Japanese with English subtitles. That was really cool again, with EO Sky predominantly talking about Bailey, saying that we're champions, we're strong, and you're not. It was kind of generic, but it was good with the music and them speaking in their native tongue so that it flows a little bit better, because with all due respect, there's a little bit of a language barrier there. Same thing with Shinsuke Nakamura. It takes him 15 minutes to say something that would normally take 15 seconds. It's great. They should have done this from the get-go. Simple as that. Now, over here, we had tattoo-less Post Malone, Wannabe, Bo, and Javier. And they got squashed. Their NXT tag division versus the Authors of Pain. I liked the match in that I liked the Authors of Pain. These guys are so much more accomplished than you think. I forget which one's which. In that one gave up in Canada the ability to potentially go to the Olympics to try out for WWE. The other guy's like a world kickboxing champion. These guys are not just big, they're agile, they're very good. I think they're great in the ring. They're not just some behemoth people walking around going, meh. Like they're actually good. They've got some nice moves to them. But they were underutilized before in their first run there in WWE, so they sucked from a scripting perspective, not from a talent perspective. And this is like the whole Braun Strowman bullshit thing in the beginning, or even Ryback, feed me more, and he's like wrestling 2 or 3 local talents. You know that not only are they not going to win, they're not going to put up a fight. So these matches, I thought we were done with this shit, because back in the 90s, 80s, and all that, up until Monday Night Raw officially started, if I'm not mistaken, I'd have to think back there, you would always have one major star, local talent. One major star, local talent. You would never see like Razor Ramon versus Jake the Snake Roberts on regular television. They would save that for the pay-per-views. So that was the like epitome of basically being predictable. This was predictable. Well, a lot of things sometimes are, but this to me was trash. I enjoyed the moment. I enjoyed seeing their physical prowess, but we already know who these guys are. Put them up against the New Day or DIY or just somebody, or Ricochet and Braun if they were still around, something. Anyways, that's my take on that. That is my take on that. And yes, Bo does look like Post Malone minus the face tattoos. And I almost said Corey. Yeah, Corey Graves. Yeah, my goodness. He even said the same thing. Byron Saxton backstage interviews Logan Paul. Decent little promo there. Logan states that he wants to face Seth at Mania, win the Elimination Chamber, and become a double champ. Hey, it's got 2 names, a title for each name. Get it? Logan Paul. Not a lot of people out there have 2 names for a first name where their last name could be somebody's first name. That could have been something that Corey Graves says to be a smartass, but he didn't. That's my line, and I'm going to copyright that shit. I love Logan Paul. Like I said, I also saw his interview with X-Pac, Sean Altman, and John Cena, and how he, because now that we're talking about Logan Paul and the whole thing in Japan and all that, and I bought it. I really did. I really do. Like I said, I am someone who loathed this guy brighter than 1,000 suns. Like the passion I hate it. He was just such a stupid schmuck, egotistical piece of shit. Really. But I do feel like he's grown. I really do. And I see what he's capable in the ring. This is not a joke for him. He's got a good physique. Not that if you're Kevin Owens, that means you can't be good. I know that sounds rude because I look more like Kevin Owens than I do Logan Paul. I wish I looked like Logan Paul, but maybe an in-between Logan Paul. And anyways. He looks the part. He sounds the part. And he actually plays the part. I cannot hate him. I really, I mean, I could, but I'm choosing to actually be rooting for him. And I would be perfectly, I'd be lying perfectly if I said that there's not a small part of me that's like, oop, imagine how much stir that would cause up if he ends up taking out Seth Rollins at Mania, because he really has that star power. He does things I've never seen before. The stuff that him and Ricochet done, because yesterday I dunked on Ricochet when I was talking about Reddit, and it wasn't anything personal against him. I think Ricochet is an absolute amazing talent, but I find he's lacking the icing and the little sprinkles on top on the cake. Logan's like that entire cake. For me, personally. Could be wrong, or maybe I'm just right, but your perception of what's great is different than mine, and that's okay. That is perfectly fine. Anyhow, Logan versus The Miz. It was a great match. Not sure what that finisher with Cody... I almost said it again. Corey Graves. Jesus, not Cody Graves. Inverted skull crushing finale of some sort. And now Logan goes on to Australia at the Elimination Chamber. I know that he is going to do some shit over there. He's going to hang from the bars. He's going to monkey his way around there somehow. And I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. This could be potentially urgent. Not really. Braun Breaker and Jade Cargill. She looked awesome in that like mirror outfit. If you watched the show, it was like some superhero stuff. I'm really, really excited to see more of her. Big time. They were chatting with Nick Aldis briefly, probably about, contracts and stuff like that. Tiffy Time talks about who she should pin first, because Liv Morgan, was that Liv Morgan? I couldn't even really see. It was like quickly. I was on my phone watching the match. The light was dimmed and stuff like that. Bianca was there too. I think it was Liv. And then they're just like, I don't think you're talking to me. You ain't pinning me that easy. It's like, no, I think she could. Tiffy is pretty amazing. And backstage, we saw Paul Heyman that was chatting with Grayson Waller. Not too sure about what exactly. I got something to say about this. And it's good. Don't worry, it's good. There's no dunking here. Naomi versus Alba Fire, who replaced Shotzi due to that really bad knee injury that she got. And like Ringside News, that was like a grave injury. This is a great match. First time we saw, at least that I saw. I can't say we. I can't speak for everybody. First time that I saw Alba wrestle, and in a singles competition match. I have to admit, I was like, I wasn't expecting that. Because there's some others out there that are regulars that kind of, you know what I mean? Doesn't really do it for me. This was actually a good match. And Naomi, I've always really, really liked. There's just something about her. She always seems happy and all that. There's just something about her. Always, always, always have been a fan of Naomi. Since day one. I think she's just great in every way. Truly. There's that whole thing now to talk about it a little bit with the whole thing with Sasha Banks. Now, I love Sasha Banks as a competitor. Her music, the dance moves, her intro theme song. I blast in my car sometimes. Well, it's not my car, but the car that I drive sometimes. Anyhow. I loved them as a tag team, and they were the champions, and then they walked out. But there's something about the Sasha Banks thing that rubs me the wrong way, and I think it's because of her fan interaction with people. She's known as being incredibly rude, not like Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Keanu Reeves, just other celebrities that you bump into sometimes and you could be rude. Like William Shatner, you probably don't want to bump into him into a restaurant. Super nice guy. I love William Shatner to death. I talk to him on Twitter sometimes, and he kind of remembers me. Makes me feel special. He's not the kind of guy you want to do that to. And I'm not saying that these are the people that you can do it to. Some are more forgiving of it. But when you're William Shatner and you're like 237 years old, you know what I mean? Like, no, you're done with that shit. Naomi is just known as just a sweet girl. Sasha Banks, not so much. So I have to admit, because I know that information, it kind of puts a stain on how I perceive her or anybody else that's a jackass outside of the ring. So I don't really care for her too much, to be perfectly honest. Because they both walked out. We could keep dunking on them. It was unprofessional. And I do think it was unprofessional. I think they should have just finished that night and then from there just not have come back afterwards. But not to walk out when all the people had paid that money to come see them. So that's like my quick take on that whole walkout thing. It's like, you shouldn't have done that. I wasn't there. I didn't know all the details. Me personally, I probably just would have finished the night. And then that would have been and I wouldn't have wanted to take that out on the people that came to see me. And that's it. But I forgive her, okay? Not that she needs my forgiveness. I'm just saying. All right. A lot of rambling here. Little interesting angle here with Dakota Kai, right? She ran into Bayley backstage and was a little bit nervous that Damage Control is going to be coming for her. Bayley is like, look, if you're looking for help from me, I'm sorry, but I still don't really know who I could fully trust for obvious reasons. And it's kind of true. There's that little bit of, what's going on there. But we didn't see her come out. We didn't see Damage Control come out, Bayley come out, none of that. Sometimes you just see them backstage as like a quick little 5-second storyline and then you move on, which is why I try to make these videos for the odd person that likes watching these. You're not going to get that through the WWE. You might get it through another website. Just don't go looking for it because then you'll never want to come back. So that's that for now. She can't help her out. Nick Aldis, right here. James Bond, Nick Bond, welcomes Braun Breaker to SmackDown. It's now official. This is huge. Again, for those that don't know who this guy is, he is the nephew of Big Papa Pump. And he is the real-life son. I always feel like I could say the real life, not scripted, of the dog-faced gremlin, the supposed transphobe Rick Steiner. He's been in a lot of hot water lately. So yeah. So that's the son. That's cool. Guy is, he's, even I know who he is. I mean, like, apart from who his family is, I've seen his stuff. This guy, oh man, it's wild. Like, that's what I look like. You know what I mean? Till I wake up in the morning. Then it's Kevin Owens all over again. So yeah. Last thing. This here, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. What the fuck is this? Roman Reigns at 1265 days. Well, now it's 1266. Who's counting? I'm counting. Comes out with the bloodline, tells the fans that they're idiots and not to ruin it because The Rock's going to come out. That's his real cousin, by the way. This is real family shit here. The Rock comes out with his fancy little yellow vest. Looks like something you'd wrap a piñata in. States all-time ring attendance for the most trailer trash he's ever seen in one setting. The crowd was still cheering him. Basically, The Rock insulted the crowd, but he also indirectly insulted the bloodline. Nobody's buying it. There's no way that you have that much animosity towards Cody Rhodes that you want to trample on his story and you want to ensure that he doesn't walk out of Mania with the belt. It's Cody Rhodes. Where's his faction? Where's his stable? Where's his entourage, his family? Dustin Rhodes is in AEW. He's not coming around talking shit. Look at Roman Reigns. I mean, Jimmy acting like a weirdo, like a clown. I love Jimmy to death. But the way they're scripting him, again, from the creative process, they're making him out to be like this goofy clown. I don't like it. Paul Heyman ain't doing shit. Roman ain't ever around. Solo Sikoa can do something. But what are you saying, Rock? That you don't have trust in the whole bloodline being able to secure it? You just said it yourself at the promo here at the end of the show. Cody Rhodes tried this last time and it didn't work. So why do we need The Rock then? I'll tell you why. Because this whole thing is a charade. It's a show to gain Roman's trust. And I think he's going to turn on him and make sure that they don't interfere. And then he's going to say, I'm sorry if I called you trailer trash. I'm sure there was only just a few of you out there. You know what I mean? Like, just to kind of be funny. And even if you are, it's all okay. We all came from somewhere. I used to eat raw potatoes when I was on the road. Whatever. Because he came from nothing and became huge, huge. He could totally turn that around. right? When he looked at the guys like, listen here, fatso, I'll slap the syphilis off your lips or whatever he said. Or maybe not the syphilis. Might have been the herpes or the gonorrhea. It was something. It was something not good. He was going to slap the lips off of it. He was going to slap the thing off of its lips. His lips. Whatever. I like this. I did. It's The Rock. But I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it at all. There's just no way you come out of nowhere and all of a sudden you're super angry with Cody Rhodes. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think this is an inside job. This is some Alex Jones conspiracy shit. I think The Rock and Cody are in on it. Do everything, because when you break down the machine, you do it from the inside out, and who better than The Rock do it? But then Seth is going to be there. Is Seth going to turn on? I don't know, man. I'm making all this weird shit up in my head. Now let's talk about a couple of things, and then I'm done. September the 12th, coming up, not that soon, but whatever. Soon enough in history. That's when Roman Reigns would beat Hulk Hogan's reign, which is the third longest in WWE recognized history. A lot of people are saying, you know what, do this back and forth bullshit. Cody loses, wins the belt at SummerSlam so that Roman can win. Here's the problem. SummerSlam is August the 3rd. Sorry, you're about 5 to 6 weeks too short. You're very close. They're not doing it. So if they want Hogan's record beat, but they don't necessarily want Bob Backlund's beat, which would be July 6, 2026, that would be Mania 42. Okay? After Mania 42. July. Oh my God, that would be after SummerSlam of 2026, essentially. No, I'm sorry. Right before. Yeah. Roman Reigns could lose at SummerSlam 2026 and beat Bob Backlund to be number 2, was what I was saying. That would make sense. And he would beat him by like 30, 40 days or something like that. Just to say that he beat him. Then he'd be the second longest of all time. In order for him to be the number 1 of all time, which is way back in the 60s because Bruno Sammartino had more than one run, May 3rd, 2028, but basically after WrestleMania 44, we would have to wait to SummerSlam of 2028 for him to be the number 1 of all time for a big prime live event. Yeah, premium live event, whatever, prime live event, that sounds cool. Prime drink, Logan Paul. See how my brain doesn't work? So these are the statistics right there. We don't know what WWE wants to do with the reign of Roman Reigns. Do they care about beating records? I've talked about this in my other video just yesterday. This is a little bit of a rehash, right? We don't know. We've got Gunther, longest of all time, ever for Intercontinental Champion. Jimmy and Jay, very recent, longest tag team champions of all time. Are they really going to bring us to 2028 at SummerSlam to beat the number 1 ever longest reign when Roman Reigns by that point will be like 43-ish years old? That's not that bad. I'm 45. I look 62. That's okay. We don't know what their intentions are. I just really hope, because of how things have been, I truly wholeheartedly believe either which way things would survive. Where they screwed up, if they make Roman retain, I'll be mad because of how much emphasis they put on Cody's story. Maybe that's the lesson. No matter how bad you want something sometimes, it doesn't matter. You just don't always get it. But he truly is, in my humble opinion, the face of the company. I know some people that watch me don't like him, think he's... That's great. You're allowed to think that. I really feel like he's the John Cena in the sense of he's the face of the franchise. I truly 100% above all else believe he is the guy. It's not Roman Reigns. I'm not saying he sucks. That's not what I'm saying. I truly think it's Cody's time. Finally do it. Finally do it. and that's it. And then you still have Roman Reigns as the fourth longest reigning champ of all time, and longest in the modern era. I just wish we knew what their intentions are, because they already know ahead of time. They probably already have it set in stone, like, we want this guy to beat Hogan. Or they don't, or they just don't care. That's what I'm saying. But based on the other titles and how we're having the longest Intercontinental, the longest tag, right? What's next? The longest this now? And then Seth's title is going to be the hot potato. Well, not really the hot potato, because that one, he's had it for almost a year now already. Has it been? I can't remember how many days he's at. Nothing worth counting, no offense. But that one might start getting tossed around a bit more to have that one be held even longer. I don't know. I just know that I want to buy one of those belts. The bullshit I had to go through in my life, I feel like I'm the champion of life. I would love to have a real authentic leather belt, not a replica, like an actual, you know, something that would cost you like a couple of grand. I have to admit, I'd like one of those, and I'd wear it on my shoulder while I'm talking here. Cut some promos on some people. It'd be really cringy, but I think I would enjoy it. I would enjoy that. The champion, the cringe champion. And that's it. I don't have anything else to talk about. I love The Rock. I am enjoying the ride. I really am. I'm enjoying this whole thing, this whole process. And it's fun to share it along with a couple of people that keep up with me. And, oh, hey, how's it going? You know, oh, yeah, I really liked that part. No, I didn't really like that part. It's nice to feel like you're a part of the community, the WWE universe, just the wrestling universe in general. Like I said, I don't discriminate. I only discriminate because I don't have the time to get too much into AEW. But when a few things happen and it's huge, like when Adam Copeland went over, a couple of things like that, yeah, I'll talk about that and how things are going and all that for sure. I'll try to find the time. But there's so much to talk about with just WWE. It's hard to start going all over the place. And like I said before, I play guitar. I got 3 YouTube channels. Like, this is not just all I do, right? So yeah. Thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support that channel with the algorithm. Thumbs down if you didn't like it. Then I'll break off one of these fingers off in your ass. All 5 of them. At the double count there. Maybe even that pen right there. Or that micro. Okay, that's enough. If you want to subscribe, naturally, that'd be great. But if not, I get it. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe, is my camera still working? It is. Good. Because last time it went, and it was like frozen the whole time. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.